Welcome to Wading into Retirement. In today's episode, we visit the town of Dolores Hildago.
Welcome back. It is Laura and Mike, and we're driving to Dolores Hildago.
Hello, everyone. So we decided to take a day trip with some good friends of ours from San Miguel de Allende to Dolores Hildago, which, it's about an hour drive, but there was some construction. So, Laura, why don't you tell us a little bit about Dolores Hildago?
Well, one of the reasons why we chose Dolores Hildago, yes, it was the proximity to SMA, but also it really was the start of the Mexican War of Independence. It was here that Father Miguel de Hidalgo actually did his cry of independence to rally everybody to, overthrow the Spanish rule. And do you remember what that was called, that cry? It's been known as
Grito de Dolores.
There you go.
And that happened on September 16th, 1810.
Yeah, so we've got a couple of months where I think it's going to be quite the celebration if we decide to go back. And I really enjoyed this small little town.
Go ahead. See, they even use your slogan, 100%.
They did. I'm really catching myself.
Thank you for joining us. We are at a restaurant called Fruty, which you can see is very, very busy, highly rated in Dolores Hildago. We are spending the morning with friends exploring the town very close to San Miguel de Allende. We're about, an hour, 45 minutes away. We managed to get parking. Way to go, Michael. And walked our little short distance to this beautiful outdoor patio that's covered because it's 91 degrees, so it's very, very warm. So enjoy our day with us.
I feel like it's Russian roulette with salsa sauces here. You do the under the tongue, but there's a latent heat that sometimes happens.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I'll touch it with my finger and taste it, and it's like, it's not so bad. I put it on a chip, and then it's like, oh my god, what did I just do?
To me, the green one's hotter than the red one.
Mm-hmm.
So after breakfast, we headed towards the Central Park. The girls in the group decided to visit the museum, which was actually very small but very well done. We had a tour guide explain the significance of the Grito de Dolores. And then you and...
Yeah, Rick and I just took a tour of the park. Took some shots of the beautiful building and architecture that was near the square. And similar to the other cities we've been to in Mexico, there always seems to be a nice, beautiful community park just across from the major church that's in the city.
And it's quite the hub, actually. You see all ages of people enjoying the park, and it's a little bit of shade from this hot summer heat. And they're very well taken care of. They're beautifully, beautifully done. They're nice and clean, lots of garbage receptacles and wide sidewalks.
Yeah, the other thing I'd mention is we were there early in the day, so we avoided most of the crowds and the heat. I think the heat was the main reason that we went early. So the parks are generally a lot more busy, and you could see the big lighting setups that they had that was going to shine on the church at night. So I imagine it's very, very beautiful at dusk or when the sun is going down.
Well, and we did go on the weekend, which that's typically when they have their large market, and there was a huge lineup right around the corner waiting for fruits and vegetables, which was also really good to see.
You could see on that last planter that Dolores Hildago is a Pueblo Mágico town, which is magic town in English. And it was declared that in the year 2002, which really highlights its rich history and cultural significance.
Vámonos.
So this is some video of me approaching the front door of the Church of the Grito.
It's also worth noting that here in San Miguel de Allende, there's a lot of celebrations around weddings and quinceañeras, and we also had the opportunity to actually see that during one of the church ceremonies inside, which was kind of exciting too. Now you were able to go into the chapel, which is next door.
Yeah, I just took a quick peek in there, and was able to get a small 5 seconds of video of what it looked like in the chapel.
If you are visiting some of the churches and cathedrals in Mexico, please be aware that they usually have a list of things that you can and can't do, especially if you don't understand the significance with the Catholicism. So you may want to make note of those before you decide to enter.
So this was one of the monuments that was just off to the left of the Church of the Grito, which was signifying the, Father Hildago's famous Grito de Dolores.
All around the cathedral, there are little pockets of places where you can stop and you can sit, and I think it would be a great spot for kids to run and play tag through. I think you managed to get a couple of the beautiful murals too that you were able to experience.
Yeah, there's one coming up right here, which was very well done. I kind of stumbled upon it, to be honest. I was just shooting some video going up beside the church and came across these beautiful murals.
The sheer artistry of Mexico is something to behold, and it catches us every time we turn around. It doesn't matter what the city is. It's just amazing to be in the presence of such artists.
So here we capture some film of 3 ladies who wanted to be on film. So we've got Laura, Dawn, and Rhea.
I'm not even sure we noticed. We were chitter-chattering so much.
So this was a very unique experience for us. When they ring the church bells, you could see the man on the bottom right pulling on a long rope, and that's what was ringing the church bell. So we're just going to let you listen to this for a little bit. And here he was pulling a different color rope, which rang a different bell.
I love how some of the technology hasn't intruded in some of the smaller hamlets and towns, because it really does add to it.
And this was another monument to the original bell that was rung during the
uprising.
the cry of independence.
I think what made the independence so important to me was they really were going up against the Spanish Armada, and that was lots and lots of guns and tools, and they were using homemade weapons. And of course, Michael has to show you our shopping trip.
No trip is complete without a stop to shop.
That's true. And we all got pots and plants, and Dolores Hildago is well known for its pottery and ceramics. So thank you very much for enjoying, and please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Hasta luego.